everybody. Today is May 21st and guess where we are heading? Where are we heading, Mahal?
Death Valley National Park in May. The end of May.
Death Valley. So this park is not actually far from where we live, our home address, but we haven't been here, you know. We have been traveling, going to see national parks for 10 years, but today we are finally heading there. Death Valley is the lowest point in North America. So this morning I was actually looking at the internet, what is the lowest point in the world, and it is the Dead Sea. So this is pretty much only in North America. So we're bringing you there. Let's go.
So the question becomes, why is Death Valley called Death Valley? And it's not because it's so hot that nothing lives down here. That's not true at all. So Death Valley is called Death Valley because many years ago, there was a wagon train and it got lost in Death Valley. And it was very hot and there was no water and it wasn't good. So they sent scouts out to look for a way out of the park, and the scouts found a way out. And they came back and they told the wagon train about it, and the wagon train used that way to get out of the park. Unfortunately, one person in the wagon train did die, and that was the nickname given to the place where this person died, Death Valley, and it has been Death Valley ever since. I consider that a bit of an overstatement. It's just not fair. End of story.
So we are officially entering the national park, Death Valley National Park. There's actually water in here. This is the lowest part of the park and in the North America. Lowest point. So Mahal, where are we right now?
We are at Zabriskie Point, and that is in Death Valley National Park, and this is a place where they recommend you come for sunrise. Sunrise was 5:30 this morning. Yeah, it's currently 8. We didn't make sunrise, but it still looks nice to me.
Yep. It is the Badlands of Death Valley. So we are hiking right now in Dantes Peak, and the weather here is actually pretty nice. I mean, under the sun it gets hot, but it's not too bad. So we still see lots of wildflowers actually. I think this is a different part of the park because it is high in elevation. So the flowers has just are in their like peak of blooming, sort of, I guess. Right there. So what was the elevation here, Mahal? What is?
5,700 right there.
Right there.
So that's amazing because we slept below sea level, and it's so nice and cool up here. And now we know why.
It's vast view up here. This is an off-road road. It's called
20 Mule Team Canyon.
Yep. It's probably where those 20 mule goes. In the old times, they had a mining here, and they used 20 mules to carry their mine products. I'm just wondering if we are actually in the right path. There was another one to the right, but there was really no sign, so we're just guessing.
This is an adventure. We're not quite lost, but maybe we're lost and we don't know it. And we left our Garmin satellite messenger in the RV. Not smart, but true.
Okay. Are we heading the right direction? Hopefully. Where are we now? Okay, good sign. So right now we are heading to Artist Palette. And you can hike up there. I don't really want to. Look at all the colors. There's pink, there's blue, there's brown, there's orange, and many other colors. It is 7:34 in the afternoon right now, and we decided to do one of the scenic view hike and also one of the oldest mining company, or how do you say it?
It was a
Location.
mining operation for borax.
Hmm?
They called it the white gold of Death Valley because the real gold had a lot of value, but nobody found very much of it.
Yeah.
and borax had less value, but they found a lot of it.
Yes. So
Soon we will see the wagons that carried out 20 or 40 tons at a time. And so if you're old like I am, then you remember that 20 Mule Team Borax was famous. I believe it was Arm & Hammer, and they made soap out of it. And it was just famous, so I remember it.
we are on our way hiking towards Golden Canyon, and this hike is a 2-mile hike with about 300 feet elevation gain, and the weather so far is okay, acceptable, because it's early and it's breezy and it's still a little shady in here. Is there anything you want to share about this canyon?
Used to be a long time ago, a road went up here, but then a flood destroyed the road, and later on we'll see a little part where the asphalt is still around. And we're not doing the 2 mile up and down, we're doing the 4.3 mile loop with 800 feet of elevation gain. So let's go.
Let's go.
Look, there's part of the road.
Yeah. I think this is part of it. You are probably wondering why Death Valley holds the record of the hottest place on Earth, even though it's not the lowest point on Earth. Well, this is the science explanation, which I already thought before I read of the science that is put in one of the places in the park. If you notice, this valley is surrounded with high mountains, 5,000 to 7,000 feet above the sea level or even more. So, when the wind blows, the heat cannot really escape away from the valley because of those mountains. And so the heat just bounces back to the valley. So, here you go for the science tip. I am walking right now here in the sand dunes of the park, and it's actually pretty because it is also sunset. They've decided to stay out there, and I decided to walk a little farther. Some people are flying their drones. They're not supposed to do that, but they are. Heading for our hike, guys. Today is our third full day here in the park. And what is our adventure today? What hike are we doing?
So we're going to Mosaic Canyon. It's a 4-mile hike, 1,200 feet elevation gain, and there are 3 well-documented blockages in this canyon that we'll have to scramble and figure out our way around and up and over. But they are documented. It's a national park. And so we've left early for us, but not that early. And I'm hoping there's still some shade, because I think I can see the canyon up above.
Yep, it is already 85 degrees at the moment. Let's go.
Let's go.
We heading for our adventure right now, Mahal?
Well, I don't want to be anticlimactic, but we've done most of the big things here at the park right now, and so we're just sort of going up and looking at a volcanic crater, and because that's what's left. A couple of the big things related to this park are closed due to a huge flood they had in 2015. So Scotty's Castle, which is sort of where we're going, but it's closed, and it's now almost 10 years into trying to be renovated. It's the National Park Service. It's not fast. So we're going to go do that. And I think it's up in those mountains a little bit, and we're going to go look at a campground that's up there and cooler than where we are. And then we're going to consider it a successful day. But it's already been a successful day, and we'll cover that next video.
On to our next adventure in this park. Today is our last full day here, and tomorrow we are leaving and heading up in the higher elevation where it's not too hot like here, and we are both looking forward to it. Today we're heading for a higher elevation hike actually, what is the name of this hike, Mahal?
We're gonna go at least part way up to Wild Rose Peak. So the hike starts at 7,500.
This is snow. That means we are already high in elevation. 69 degrees out there. So what is this, Mahal?
So we are visiting the best preserved examples of these little huts in the west of the U.S. And these little huts were used to create charcoal that was a high density fuel needed to run the smelters to process the stuff they were mining. And they would cut down these juniper trees and these pinyon trees, which do not provide enough heat in a fire, and they would burn them somehow in these until they became charcoal enough where they could be turned into these charcoal briquettes. And
So this is called kelps or
this is a kiln.
kelp.
Kiln.
Okay. Done with our hike and now driving back home.
I love doing that. Just like that.
Well, what do you say, Mahal? Bye-bye, Death Valley.
Bye Death Valley after 6 days down here.
Yep, 6 days is enough for an RV in Death Valley in the beginning of summer. Actually, it's been 100 degrees or more, and it's supposed to be hotter today than yesterday, and it will continue to go hotter and hotter. And we're heading today towards Great Basin National Park, one of the parks that we have not